Sure, and as you said, we are going to start off with the sniper for Scary Faces, leaving the troll and Juggernaut for Flipside. This is scary, even though both of these heroes don't necessarily have great tools at getting right into the face of Sniper, although I'd expect a Blink Dagger to come out for one of them. Which one, I'm not sure. The amount of damage that Troll and Juggernaut can put out in tandem is ridiculous. When you add that extra attack speed to Jug, he's going to be critting like a madman, probably with a Mask of Madness. And well, it's very rare that we see one of these heroes left through to the pool, let alone all three.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a very high power level of heroes. There are certain situations when you may have like all these super powerful heroes and it doesn't actually work out for you because you just like want to grab all the powerful ones and then you realize, wait, these powerful heroes are really good, but they don't really work well together. I don't think it's going to come down to it just yet, as Juggernaut Troll Warlord, as you already described, do work pretty well together. I mean, they have a lot of DPS between the two of them. They're not exactly super fragile either. They typically go for very similar strength-oriented builds. But maybe that's going to happen a little bit in this game. Batrider is still in the pool, as is the Venge, so we're going to probably play that game for the second banning phase, but Scary Faces instead decided to grab the Beastmaster. Jug, Troll Warlord, both prime targets for the Roar, not to mention the fact that you need a little bit of protection for your sniper.
Yeah, and he is going to offer that not only through just having the Beastmaster, they're offering the Roar to back up the Sniper, but also through the Hawk Vision. It's really, really important to keep that into consideration when you have a Beastmaster in the game. It's kind of what differentiates a good Beastmaster from a great Beastmaster. If you're able to keep that Hawk Vision constantly over the enemy team and watch their movements, it's really hard for them to do anything. Troll Warlord and Juggernaut really would love to be getting early Roshans under their belt, but this game, it's not going to be reliable, or at the very least, if they're going to go for it, Scary Faces are going to know, and that means that they'll have to get pickoffs beforehand.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit rough for Flipside to actually get away with that, but they still can get away with it if they grab a little bit of minus armor, like that Vengeful Spirit who's still in the pool, then their amount of DPS can go into the Roshan, take it out before Scary Faces really have a sufficient time to react. It's going to be the Batrider ban out from Scary Faces, so Venge looking a little bit less appealing on both sides, but the supports are probably going to be targeted here since both sides have picked up good portion of their core heroes. Who's going to grab that Lion? Well, unless it's banned out right now, I'm pretty sure Flipside are going to be more than okay with grabbing that one.
If I'm Scary Faces right now, I'd probably ban out the Clockwork. Flipside tactics still are without having their offlaner, and that's probably one of the best ones against Sniper. Outside of that, what do you think are some likely candidates for being banned out and picked here subsequently?
Well, I mean, as I just said, Lion should be a prime suspect for the Scary Faces side to ban out. Really, supports on both ends should be targeted. We have a Lich actually being banned out. That's a little bit odd, but for Flipside, if they want to go deep, then a Magnus with the combined power of Troll Warlord and Juggernaut will be reaching absolute critical levels for Flipside. The damage output is going to get ridiculous from them. Maybe their lanes are going to be a little bit weaker, but offlane mag is not too rare nowadays. They could probably get away with it if they really want to. It's a Lich ban instead for Scary Faces, then a PL for Flipside, so maybe not going to be that Magnus for them. But both sides want their supports, and there are quite a few left, really just Lich and Shaker being the ones that are truly banned out. I mean, I guess there are other supports banned out, but the top tier supports you're still comfortable running are still available.
Yeah, for sure. The Lich ban is pretty interesting, and I'm not exactly sure why Scary Faces go for that ban. It looks like they're scared of Flipside just getting strong lanes and running with it. Also, the Ice Armor is really annoying for Sniper to deal with when he's sieging towers and what have you, so could be into consideration, but definitely not the hero that comes to mind immediately as super scary. I don't think there are any heroes that Lich super hard counters, and if there are, nothing that's immediately there. Lion is going to be a pickup for Flipside. No big surprises there. Honestly, this draft is going to have a lot of metagaming in it, I want to say. Just between these two teams, they know each other pretty well, and that's going to show in some peculiar bans.
Yeah, I think that Lich ban is more so for this. I mean, it's obviously for the sniper's benefit. I mentioned before that Lion, or that Juggernaut and Troll Warlord, rather, typically do build rather tanky, and even though they do build, your Sanjin Yashas, your Eye of Scotties, stuff like that, they do a lot of damage. So if you could get away with going for a little bit less of that health, because you have Frost Armor or Ice Armor on your side, if Flipside were to pick up that Lich, then Sniper would really struggle to actually do anything versus those heroes. They will have no issue whatsoever, Flipside, about simply running at the Sniper through the Roar, through everything else they have, and just to try to get to the back lines and just to try to kill off the Sniper. Right now for Flipside, that's not really a possibility. You mentioned a Clockwork earlier for Flipside, and they do need a way to get on top of this sniper. Batrider is banned out. Their trademark Spirit Breaker is banned out, which usually would get them in at least close enough to the sniper. They need some way at initiating.
Yeah, right now, though Blink Lion's good, it's not good enough. Let's see what Scary Faces are going to settle on. They're still lacking, presumably, a safe lane farmer, but they're just going to pick up a good support. It's Disruptor. Glimpse is a wonderful tool to have on your side, and Static Storm sometimes can stop Juggernaut from getting off his Omni Slash as well as Spin. It's a reasonable pick. I don't think there's anything bad about Disruptor, and there's nothing super great, but what he does pretty well. He offers pretty unique utility to the team.
Yeah, a lot of zone control right now for Scary Faces. Being able to throw up kinetic fields, boars from the Beastmaster aren't really like as hard zone control as a kinetic field, but they could lock down a whole bunch of portions of the map just by themselves. If you're close to that boar, you're probably not going to be doing anything very quickly, and Beastmaster's Roar, of course, another powerhouse in that regard. Scary Faces are building their draft as best they can in order to protect this sniper, as well they should. Still, Flipside lack the way of getting on top of the sniper, and Disruptor is fine in lane and everything like that, but really, they might be building for protection for the sniper that isn't really needed right now. If they just got heroes that could engage the Juggernaut Troll Warlord, a hero like a Bristleback or something like that for Scary Faces, then they should be sitting pretty until this Clockwork pick comes up. Now the Disruptor gets a lot better. Flipside deciding that the benefits of Clockwork definitely outweigh the downside of going Clockwork into a Disruptor.
I'll go ahead and touch quickly on Beastmaster again because of the boar slow. That's going to be a 40% slow that goes through the spin of the Juggernaut and potential BKB from the Troll. It's actually going to be really annoying for them to deal with when it comes to them kiting them around with the sniper. It's probably going to be pretty crucial. Scary Faces at the moment have all of their eggs in this sniper basket, and we'll have to see if they want to diversify or just go for more zone control. It's going to be Enigma offering the Midnight Pulse and the Black Hole to their team fight.
On the flip side, I already have a decent amount of control to deal with this Enigma. Rubik should be, I think, what Flipside are going to be looking for as their last pick. They need a little bit more control, and when you get a guaranteed Black Hole steal, well, you're probably going to be feeling pretty happy about yourselves, but Scary Faces probably going to throw that Enigma into the jungle. We just got off of a Scary Faces game where they absolutely demolished. So Enigma in the jungle, Beastmaster towards the offlane, Disruptor in the support role, supporting someone right now. They know that most likely for Flipside it's going to be a Clockwork on the solo offlane, so really they don't really need a super powerful hero in order to deal with that Clockwork. They could get away, Scary Faces, with pretty much any core right now. Medusa looking pretty good right now because Flipside, though they are pretty powerful in the late game, they can't really apply a lot of pressure early on. And Medusa versus the double, I guess, kind of melee of Juggernaut and Troll Warlord is pretty darn good. That Stone Gaze is going to do some work.
Especially when combined with the Enigma, and more than anything, it also forces Flipside to focus onto the Medusa, and any way that they can draw attention away from the sniper is a good tactic for Scary Faces, I think. They could just go for something super hard-hitting. The Slark ban is reasonable from Flipside. We're going to see the Rubik banned out, and that's probably for the better. I think Flipside, at the moment, Venge looks pretty good for them, offering the extra minus armor, a little bit of damage for Troll and Juggernaut, and also a long-range way to cancel the Black Hole through BKB.
Man, we've been like on the ball with predicting Flipside's draft. And it's probably a bad thing, because if we can predict what they're going to go for, I'm pretty sure Scary Faces would be able to do the exact same thing. I mean, obviously, they didn't pick up the Rubik, but come on. We got the Clockwork prediction and the Lion prediction and the Rubik prediction. We're on the mark. Scary Faces is a little bit less predictable, I suppose, but I'm still feeling the Medusa for them. And Venge, as a response to the Enigma, as a response to the Beastmaster, yeah, it's looking pretty good right now for Flipside. Adding more damage to a Juggernaut Troll Warlord, you can never really say no to that. As far as other support heroes that they can run, I mean, they don't really need a ton of crowd control. They have decent enough effects to deal with the Enigma's Black Hole right now, and Scary Faces aren't with any super mobile heroes, so really Flipside can get away with anything they want right now, and maybe it will be a little more of a damage combo. A Skywrath Mage would be pretty good with the Lion, and you could land a Mystic Flare and a set of cogs, but no, just a Vengeful Spirit. Okay, we're pretty much 3 for 3 for Flipside.
Well, and for good reason, too. These are really good heroes, and they function well together. It's a nice draft coming out from Flipside as far as the raw power level of their heroes, but it's a question of whether or not they can actually get to that point. Chord is going to be mid against the Sniper, And that's a pretty annoying lane for Troll to be in all honesty. There's never really a situation where Sniper should be in melee range of the Troll where he can really abuse the fact that he's getting bashes and the blind chance coming out from the axes. That is, of course, unless there's rotations from the Lion in Venge, which really could put an end to Sniper's happy days in mid, as Scary Faces aren't equipped to roam at all with their supports. Enigma and Disruptor are going to play very passively, but nail on the head. Medusa is going to be the last bit for Scary Faces. I'm not sure how good we
figured out the metagame. We did it.
Yeah. I don't know. The metagame's been there for quite some time, so I'm not sure how much it really takes to figure it out. But in the end, I think this is a pretty even game when it comes to draft. If Flipside Tactics are able to get some early ganks off with the Clockwork and ride some momentum there, they could really crush this one out. But Scary Face's high ground defense and late game is pretty insane.
Yeah, whenever you have two ranged carries, they are typically very soft. That's the drawback of them being ranged. But Medusa and Sniper, they can get to a very unkillable stage super late. So it's going to be up to Flipside to apply the pressure to Scary Faces. Not by a huge amount. Juggernaut, Troll, Warlords late game is still very, very dangerous. But Scary Faces, they really have to be reactive for most of this game. They can start some fights with the Beastmaster Roar and stuff like that, but for the most part, it's going to be up to Flipside. And then, at that point, it's going to be up to the supports and the Clockwork, and maybe a little bit of coin flipping in the lanes. But here we are, guys. We are in game number 1 between Flipside Tactics and Scary Faces. And for the Radiant side, it is going to be Flipside. They're going to put Baby Knight on the Juggernaut to start things off. Rise is on the Lion. Bland is going to be handling the Vengeful Spirit. Ace on the Clockwork, and that leaves Useless Score. I'm pretty sure that's Unicorn. He has a rainbow kind of guy on his icon, so I'm pretty sure it's Unicorn on the Troll Warlord.
And for the dire side of the map, it is Scary Faces with Quista playing on the Medusa, rocking an Eye of Scotty set. That's pretty cool. With Disruptor played by Shadowa. Our other support's going to be Enigma in the jungle, played by Eknard, leaving last but not least Sniper by Player and Offlane Beastmaster by Ramsey666. 5-man rotation coming out from Flipside under the guise of smoke. They might be able to get a wraparound onto Scary Faces, but for the time being, looks like they just want to control up Enigma's woods.
And it looks like they probably will get a free time on that one. Scary Faces do have some sentries already. One on the Enigma to deward a little bit. Shadowy probably is going to reserve his for a little bit more of a laning situation. But still, these camps are blocked, and maybe they're going to stay that way, maybe not. Either way, you got to do what you can to slow down the Enigma's progression in the jungle. Just looking at this draft from Flipside, you would think that they're going to put the Troll Warlord mid, Juggernaut safe with the Venge and Lion. But Baby Knight usually goes mid for the Flipside side, and the Flipside team usually do or aren't scared about running Juggernaut mid. Should they be though, because it's probably going to be a Juggernaut versus Sniper lane, and I don't really know how Juggernaut's going to fare there. It doesn't seem like that's a lane where he could get much done.
Even though Troll doesn't dominate the Sniper mid or do particularly well, he does better than Jug, I want to say. Really, I don't think there's any lane that Juggernaut would be happy about inside the mid lane, unless for some reason it ends up being him versus Beastmaster, and even then, the power of the boar is really annoying. Juggernaut should be able to get some amount of farm, but I don't like this choice coming out from Flipside. Only time will tell if it's a good one or not. We'll just have to keep our eyes on it.
Yeah, like, what's the upside here? Like, the Troll Warlord is good versus the Beastmaster, I suppose, and just a straight-up man fight, he could do decently, but so can the Juggernaut, and when you're actually going to go for those kills, I would rather have a spin than Whirling Axes. I guess Whirling Axes ranged for the slow is pretty nice, but they already have Avenge and Alliance. CC isn't really going to be an issue if they do find themselves with the kill potential here on Ramses, so I don't really see the upside. I just see downside right now for Flipside's choices. Maybe just the comfort level on the heroes. I know Baby Knight does play mid-Juggernaut quite a bit, so that, of course, has something to do with this laning situation. But that really shouldn't be judging. That really shouldn't be, you know, deciding what their lanes are going to be like, just being a little bit more comfortable. Because Baby Knight already, he's getting shot down pretty hard by Player, and he has 2 tangos. He's not really close to a bottle. This is going to be a rough mid lane for the Flipside Juggernaut.
I think the big upside is that when you are going for kills, you would much rather have a spin, and maybe Flipside can make some kills happen onto the Sniper with rotations from Bland and Rise, but we'll just have to see if they are able to pull that through. For the time being, Flipside are actually getting a lot of farm on their Clockwork, however. Ace isn't being pressured much at all by the Disruptor and the Medusa, and in fact is having a great time. Level 3 already on the Clockwork, and he has 7 CS to his name, which is the same as the Medusa.
This lane is really not supposed to go that great for the Clockwork. I guess the trade-off is Baby Knight's rough time over in mid. Double shrapnel on the floor right now. Healing ward leveled up by Baby Knight. A necessity to keep him alive right now, but again, much of this could have been avoided if it was Troll to take the mid lane instead. He would be under a similar amount of pressure, but I would have thought it would be going better for him. Ace's top lane is going to be a pretty nice saving grace here for Flipside, not to mention the fact that Unicorn is also more or less free farming down towards bottom. Ramses is also getting a lot of experience. He's getting just as much experience, pretty much, as the Clockwork. So, though he's not getting as much gold, the Beastmaster Roar is more or less on par with the Hookshot Clockwork as far as the contributions that it can provide to the team.
Yeah, although it isn't as long ranged and maybe not as good for pick off solo with just the Beastmaster compared to just the Clockwork, with what it's able to contribute to the team is probably just as big as, or maybe even a little bit larger. Let's see. We're paused currently. We have a good to go coming out from Ramses666. He was the one that we're pausing for, so hopefully we'll be able to get back to this. I have no idea what was wrong, but either way, it looks like it's not wrong anymore. Even though the Juggernaut's taking a lot of harass from the Sniper, Baby Knight's still getting unimpeded experience and a little bit of farm, although he needs to be careful now with Shrapnel. The player is going very strong into Baby Knight. He doesn't have another Shrapnel charge, but he doesn't need it with another headshot proc. That is going to be player drawing first blood onto Baby Knight. My goodness, kind of chewing over my words, but either way, things are looking pretty good for Scary Faces in mid.
Yeah, I mean, that was probably just bound to happen, right? Like, especially since, well, I guess Juggernaut now does have his bottle, but because he didn't have his bottle before, there's no way that he could actually get the healing ward out convincingly. He's gone for 2 points in Blade Fury, which is, you know, ordinarily, I love it when players go for this build. Blade Fury is really strong. It helps you get kills. You might as well level it up. But versus the Sniper, first of all, it's going to be very unlikely that he ever closes in on the Sniper, because Sniper has boots, Juggernaut does not. That's one problem. Also, Sniper is ranged, and Juggernaut is not. That's another. And also because he has to cast Healing Ward pretty consistently, so the chances of him getting enough mana for both the Healing Ward and Blade Fury up time, it's very slow. So Baby Knight's build this game, just the whole thing revolving around this Juggernaut, I'm questioning it entirely. From Flipside, this is not really how you want to be playing a Juggernaut mid. However, Ramsey's down towards bottom. Maybe they're going to get some blood in the side lanes enough to make up for the mid lane. He's going to get beaten down after the Hex and Spike, so Unicorn is going to draw some blood for himself.
Since he does have the bottle, things should be looking up a little bit more for Baby Knight, but yeah, that's kind of what they need to do. Make good use of the fact that Clockwork's having a wonderful time in top lane. Maybe he can even get a kill onto the Disruptor and punish the Beastmaster a little bit. The Enigma's farming pretty nicely through the woods. They've been keeping tabs on where this Enigma is, but maybe not nice enough. The early words coming out from Flipside are really annoying. Baby Knight forced to spin out in mid. The one upside is that Juggernaut shouldn't be dying to assassinate anytime soon, since he does have that Blade Fury.
Is that really an upside, or is that a consolation prize? Like, it's like, great, you're not going to die to that. He's going to go for more Blade Fury. This would indicate to me that Baby Knight has plans on leaving the lane and going very aggressive somewhere else. He's going to get dove a little bit by player. Now the Shrapnel layer on the floor. Assassinate going to be primed up. He has to bottle up right now, but it's too late. Baby Knight's going to be taken down by a hasted Sniper. 3 levels of spin, not really doing too much for him. Then again, nothing really would have helped him out that much. Baby Knight is just getting wrecked in the mid lane. And Flipside, the side lanes need to do so much better than they're doing right now if they really want to counteract the fact that this Juggernaut isn't going to be doing that much. He doesn't even have that many steroids. If he had Empower on his team, then this would be more okay since they could just stack up and clear Ancients. But Juggernaut can't even do that, not until much, much later.
Yeah, now with Phase Boots, 2 Wraith Bands, it's not going to get any better anytime soon for Flipside. Yeah, although Blade Fury generally is pretty good against Assassinate, when you have no mana to utilize it. Flipside have rotated Avenge in mid to pick up a little bit of experience there, but for the time being, things are slowing down, only isolated instances of action. The Troll Ward continues to farm up, and the Clockwork, even though he's not farming as well as he once was, is still almost on par with the Sniper in mid, which is really quite amazing. The Disruptor, I think he could have been doing a little bit more when it comes to zoning him out. But not much. At this point, Ace is almost unmanageable. The Mystic Snake is not going to bounce to him, and he'll be sitting on this hook shot now. There is potential. If he can isolate Shadowy especially, he can very easily get kills.
He could also probably kill off Quista right now. The Mana Shield is only level 1 in the Medusa. Holy crap, her icons are sexy. I did not even realize. But yeah, if Ace gets a hook shot onto anyone right now, with level 3 battery assaults, that's probably going to be a kill. He would love to use it on the sniper right now, but he does know where the Enigma is. Eknart knows what the clockwork is as well. This should not be a kill, especially with player. He's closing in as well. Ace, he knows where the Enigma was, and he now knows where the Enigma is, but he's not going to have enough to deal with 2 heroes. Ace is thinking about turning around, actually. There's a disruptor right around the corner. Hook shot in, gonna connect into the sniper. Enigma's right around the corner. It looks like player might be going down here, but it might not be for free. He's gonna actually dig himself out of these cogs. Now Ace on the run. Shrapnel layer number 1. Player has another shrapnel layer plus assassinate. Here comes Baby Knight with a spin and Omnislash. He's gonna walk right into a field though, so he's just gonna take free damage from that shrapnel. Looks like hook shot number 1 being used, but just not enough. And those power cogs not really standing up to the combined focus fire of both Enigma and Sniper.
No, it only takes 2 shots to kill those off. It's actually pretty easy. Player in mid, fighting with Baby Knight. The Omni Slash doesn't get a lucky bounce, but it doesn't matter. Baby Knight still going to secure that kill and get some revenge in mid lane. Meantime, down towards bottom with the ultimate pop by the troll, they're going to go strong into Ramsey 666. Will the damage be there? They just need one more auto attack, but they can't find it. TP in from the disruptor is going to put an end to that aggression. Now they glimpse back the troll warlord. Maybe they can kill off Ramsey 666 in return, but under the tower, useless score is going to end up dropping. 2 for 3 is going to be the final kill score after all is said and done, and well, that is all said and done. There's no more action on the map.
I want to say there was less than ideal damage output coming out there from the Troll Warlord because he was ranged a good portion of that time. And when you have a hexed target and spike target, usually you could go a little bit more towards melee. He's also going to go for a pretty strange build himself. Berserker's Rage level 3, Whirling Axe is only level 2. This is not an ordinary build for Troll Warlord. Over towards mid though, Bland. Double layer of shrapnel. Healing ward value, maybe? No, it's not going to be enough. Sniper's going to claim yet another one. That was supposed to be a gank on the sniper, yet Flipside get turned around and this sniper's going to obliterate the Venge. It's 3-1-0 on the sniper, and Flipside, this clockwork, he has to do some really heavy lifting in the mid game if he's actually going to shut down this sniper. He's looking for another wraparound, this time on the Enigma. He sees Eknart more or less perfectly. Well, now definitely perfectly. I think he got some vision there. Rocket, hook shot is going to very easily connect, and Eknart's doomed to fall right now. Looks like that'll be a free one for Ace. Finally, he gets himself on the board.
Yeah, and that's very important too for Flipside. As you already kind of mentioned, the Trolls build is pretty aggressive for getting kills early on with the chasing power. Roar in mid on the Baby Knight. He previously had spun. The damage might be there from the sniper regardless. However, now without the spin, they have an assassinate. If they even need it, they'll just chase him down with one auto attack, one assassinate. Baby Knight can't heal through this, and he's going to get his head shot off by the sniper. 3-5, and even though Flipside are going for these aggressive builds on their Juggernaut and their Troll Warlord, it doesn't seem that they're really doing much with them.
This sniper is absolutely dominating the mid lane, so much more than we ordinarily see, and Flipside, they're just really struggling to get any help for Baby Knight. I think it's about time where, for Flipside, they either commit 2 heroes to the mid lane, or they just completely abandon mid, and that's never something you want to be doing in a game of Dota, but what's your alternative? You just sit in the mid lane, you keep on throwing heroes to the sniper, and they keep on dying? That's not better than abandoning the lane. It's far, far worse. So they're going to put actually 4 heroes in the mid lane for now. Looks like Rise, Bland, and Ace. They have a smoke, and where are they going to go? If they actually connect on a hook shot to the sniper, that can very easily be a kill. He did have his kill streak broken, Sniper, previously, and this could be it again if he's revealed, but there's so many heroes missing off the map. Player's going to play it safe right now. Smoke's still held. It might be broken on the Enigma as he is kind of coming in. Smoke's still maintained right now for the Flipside side, and Ace, now he has an angle onto player. Here comes the entire team. Hook shot in. However, an immediate glimpse back. Players, you know, getting a little bit of protection from those cogs, but spin does go through that. Enough range for that. And Eknard is actually right next to the Ace, who is still battery assaulting. That's 2 kills for Flipside. Baby Knight going to try to healing ward up. Salve Assassinate's going to be canceled. So much commitment to try to save Baby Knight, but it's not going to be enough to save Rise. He got left behind. He'll turn around for a spike and Shadowy. That's not going to do it. He is going to drop to the Disruptor, and player, though it does force a very early buyback on the sniper, ends up getting a little bit anyway. It's 5-6, and Flipside, they get a 2 for 1. I think at this point in the game, that's all they could be happy with.
Sniper ends up losing about 600 gold, though. That's pretty unfortunate for them. The real winners in that are Medusa, who's left up top completely alone, and Troll Warlord, who's left bottom effectually alone, as the Beastmaster can't put very much pressure onto him, as both of them have been farming away. Juggernaut with an Invis rune, potentially going to look for a wraparound onto player, but he's completely alone with only 1000 HP. However, if Baby Knight isolates him away from the creep wave, the Omni Slash might just do him, and he's going to pop the phase boots, try and get in range. He will. Player is going to be dropped down to about half, and now with the spin damage, Player's dropping low. They bring in a TP, it's a Disruptor, but they can't save Player, and now Shadowy in a bit of pickle too. Baby Knight is dropping low under the tower, is spotted out with vision, will be glimpsed back. Baby Knight is going to end up dying to the Disruptor, and well, a pretty even trade in mid. Juggernaut gets the kill onto the Sniper, and I honestly think that favors Flipside, but only just.
Yeah, I mean, killing off the Sniper right now is so great for Flipside, especially solo kills for the Juggernaut. They're going to run to Eknart now. Whirling Axe is ranged. Ace is going to get silenced, so he can't put up those cogs to bump Eknart back into useless score. But Lion is coming in here as well. Eknart's closing in. He's looking for Black Hole, but there's a Finger of Death waiting for him instead. Shadowy has no mana, so he can do nothing to help out here. And Flipside once again bring in the Cavalry, making it again a 2-for-1 in favor of the Flipside team. This Clockwork is doing some serious work. Even the support stepping up their game for Flipside. You wouldn't expect Unicorn to make that rotation out, but he did. But this is all, keep in mind, Scary Faces fighting with just 4 heroes. Their Medusa is happily farming up in the top lane under no pressure and has been under no pressure for the entire game. So though it might be going decently right now for Flipside, it still is in a portion of the game where they're expected to do this decently. They need to worry about this Medusa.
Yeah, and they should probably look for some ganks on tour, but then again, you also have to deal with the Sniper. At this time, Flipside are very spread thin whenever they drop resources for anything. Troll Ultimate's going to be spent for just farming a stack, it looks like, as he'll be able to do that, and Juggernaut puts some pressure on the bottom lane. They'd love to take out some of these tier 1 towers. Maybe that will open up the map enough for Flipside to put some pressure onto the Medusa and Sniper both.
Oh, Hawk not quite going to catch vision of Baby Knight. Oh no, Baby Knight, don't go back in the lane. That's not where you want to go. I think Baby Knight is just dead here. He doesn't have a spin TP, and even if he did, there is a Roar on the Flipside team. Baby Knight's going to run into Beastmaster. Roar immediately with Player closing in. Shrapnel 1 and just right clicks. That healing ward is not going to do jack. However, here comes Ace, going to put Player in those cogs, but no, Player is going to turn around and kill off Ace immediately. And Juggernaut is actually going to survive because of that. Usually it's going to be worth it to sacrifice your clock to save your Jug, but I don't think that's the case in this game.
I'll call that pretty much even to the Juggernaut kill, as both Jug and Clock were having a pretty decent time of it. In the end, they just needed a little bit more backup that wasn't there. The Static Storm on top of the cogs made it really easy for Player to just shoot away at him. Tier 1 tower, right after the fact, is going to fall in favor of Scary Faces. This is what's going to tip the trade in their favor vastly. That's going to start taking away some map control away from Flipside and maybe make it scarier for them to farm inside their woods, and their team really would like to. Medusa in the meantime is left completely alone. Quista is now almost at Ultimate Orb Gold on top of the Yasha, presumably Scotty next.
Yeah, and that's going to be pretty scary for the Flipside team to deal with. They already are going to struggle at actually DPSing her down, because ordinarily, though they may have a Troll Warlord and Juggernaut, well, this Juggernaut isn't really going to be doing that much. So it's pretty much just the Troll Warlord and the Juggernaut, who's a walking Omnislash. Nowadays, we don't see Juggernaut going for the Aghanim Scepter, but I think after this much of a rough start, unless they expect the game to go super, super late, going for an Ags build on Juggernaut actually seems kind of decent here. He's looking to go for probably a Yasha with this band, but yeah, Aghanim Scepter just to have some guaranteed impacts to try to assassinate the Sniper. That's probably the build I would go if I was in the situation.
Something along those lines, like Yasha, Ags, Diffusal Blade into Manta style. Maybe that would give them some nice guaranteed damage against the Dusa as well. But still, Baby Knight, it's a long road to recovery. And although Juggernaut generally farms really fast, that's usually when you get Mask of Madness. And at this point, he's pretty far away from getting any major items. Although that is going to be helped out by being involved in the clearing of this stack. It's a huge stack, actually. And although he's going to stop it from getting any larger, this extra experience in gold for the team is really nice for Flipside. What are Scary Faces getting in return? They're currently smoked up as 4.
Yeah, they're going the complete wrong direction if they want to stop this. However, what they want to do is kill off the Clockwork. This Clock knows that if he gets jumped right now, he will have no backup because the rest of the team is currently just farming up, and there's a Roar incoming, plus a Static Storm most likely if they even need Assassinate, plus he's caught in the field, and he doesn't even have anything to hookshot to. Clockwork, that was a little bit too far ahead of the lane to actually go, knowing that there's no backup incoming. It does buy enough time and space for the rest of the team to clear out that Ancient stack. Maybe worth it for the Clockwork to do that, especially if Flipside get this tower, it's going to be worth it, but this tower isn't even going to be for free. It's going to be even tower trades, or maybe even, no, they might not even get the mid lane tower. Scary Faces are teleporting in, this time with their Medusa. That's a pretty large body to put in the front lines, even though Mana Shield's only level 1. She is another hero that Flipside previously haven't had to deal with before.
Yeah, and even with just level 1 in the Mana Shield, she's pretty darn tanky. And, well, Scary Faces are now going to farm up their Ancient stack, also 4 stacked up for the Dusa. This takes quite a while, but with some ranged axes to, or with just axes throw out from Ramses, it'll help soften it up. Both sides are just going to fall back on their part of the map and end up farming their woods for the time being, but Scary Faces have consistently gotten slightly better trades, all things considered. Once Medusa... Oh,
Their advantage isn't that large, though. Like, it's a less than 1k experience lead either way, and only 2k in net worth. Even though Medusa's getting a lot of farm, Flipside aren't doing too terribly themselves, especially on this troll.
yeah, I think it's only because it feels like Flipside should be at a lead, and they're not. But yeah, this game is by no means over, or even close to that. It's going to be pushing mid coming out from Scary Faces. The tier 1 tower had already been dropped down to about 400 HP. I don't think there's going to be any huge defense coming out from Flipside unless they can find somebody out of position. And at the moment, it doesn't look like that's the case.
Yeah, the clockwork hookshot in is really not appealing right now, because if you do get a hookshot in, the odds of you isolating one hero and actually killing him off with battery assault is so low because of all the eidolons and the boars and all the random stuff that Scary Faces are summoning. So they walk in, take the tier 1 tower, and then walk out towards the Roshan pit. This is potentially a little bit dangerous. Their Hawk needs to stay alive for this, but they also need to not lose Shadowy. Baby Knight's going to get silenced, put in the field as well as roared. Baby Knight's going to walk into his doom. Cast animation of Omni Slash, it's there, and the Static Storm came out a little bit faster. Without their Juggernaut Flipside, even though they know exactly what's going on, I don't really know if they could do this. They can make Eidolons out of the pigs from the Beastmaster, and they could also just have the pig tank it up. Flipside, they're right around the corner, but this is going to be walking into a black hole. They're also spotted completely by Shrapnel. They're going to take an Assassinate to Rise, already down below half HP. Not a great start. Thunderstrike is up. Glimpse back. Is he just going to get picked off right now? Another set of Shrapnel. Bland will swap Rise out, but he's going to die regardless. Now the hook shot in, but it's only a 2v5. Ace and Useless Score are completely out of their depth right now. Maybe they'll kill off the Sniper, and they will with Ace, but they can't really get much else. Ace is actually going to escape. That's actually miraculous for Flipside, the fact that they made a 1-for-1 trade there in a 2v5 situation. However, Ace, he's going to get glimpsed back right into Quista, Eknart, and Shadowy. He's going to put us some cogs, and now here comes the Omnislash onto Eknart, bouncing over to Shadowy as well. That's going to be 2 kills more. This Clockwork doing some serious work, and now Baby Knight's going to charge forward, looking for a little more. However, Bland doesn't have any mana. They can't catch up to this Medusa, and even if they did, well, actually, they forced out a buyback from the Disruptor. Now should be the time where Flipside just back off and try to get some mana going for themselves. This trade overall has been fantastic, all things considered, for Flipside. They started out at such a disadvantage, yet they pretty much tied it up. Glimpse back on the Juggernaut's going to fail because of the spin. And now, Scary Faces, are they going to go back into the Roche Pit? It's at half HP. Flipside don't have that much mana. They need to go back to the base, like right now, and then TP out to the Roche Pit again. But they're just going to go for it, Flipside, or Scary Faces, rather. Where's their Clockwork? Still not alive. I don't think Flipside can actually contest this any further.
But even though they don't contest it, they still take an alright trade. I think the end tally is something like 2 for 3 plus the buyback on the Disruptor. In the end, it's an Aegis now for Quista and an Eye of Scotty flying out to the Deuces. She's getting a lot. Assassinate over onto the Vengeful Spirit. Bland is going to be able to survive for a little bit longer. Ramses drops the Hawk. Hookshot over in the sidelines. However, his Clockwork jumps in onto Eknar with the Blade Mail activated. The Enigma is going to drop before this fight really starts out. Useless Score going to end up dropping to the Disruptor and players. The Sniper has been just shooting away the whole time. They'll be able to glimpse back Baby Knight. Baby Knight now slowed down by the Scotty inside the Shrapnel. He can go nowhere. And what was an alright trade in the beginning of it for Flipside turns out to be pretty disastrous as they take a really sketchy fight.
Well, they saved the Vengeful Spirit. that's nice, I guess, for them. Probably not worth losing your Troll, Juggernaut, and Clockwork for, but in that last fight, we did see the power of really this Disruptor. He's been doing some serious work for Scary Faces. The zone control was real. We haven't even seen a black hole yet, but really, Flipside, they try to get in from usually a pretty good angle. If the Scary Faces team, or if any team is lined up in this sort of pattern, then going straight into the middle of them is what you want to do. But not when you're walking straight into a Static Storm. That just gets so messy so very quickly. The Troll Warlord can't do anything from that point out. Can't even get the blind out from his Whirling Axes. There was no Omnislash available, I want to say, from the Juggernaut, but he was silenced anyway, so it doesn't even matter. Scary Faces walk away with a pretty nice engagement, and they still have this Aegis on their... who actually has it? On their Medusa, with the Eye of Scotty as well. So Quista is going to be absolutely unkillable right now for the Flipside team, and for Flipside, I think they just have to back off and just try to turtle it out. But even then, it's by no means guaranteed that they're going to come back into this game, because when they're turtling, Sniper and Medusa are farming.
Yeah, and that's scary. Even now, Quista, if he's sitting on full mana and health, is at upwards of 3,000 effective HP. With just the mana shield taken into consideration, then he also has a pretty moderate amount of armor at 16 as well to drop their physical damage a further 50%. His effective HP is through the roof. Probably somewhere around 6,000 to the physical of Jug and Troll, which is not something that's supposed to be happening. Mana Drain, honestly, is one of the biggest tools that Flipside have at this point to deal with Quista. There's no Lincoln Sphere or anything to block that. So we'll see how Longline's actually able to channel that before dying. Tier 2 tower on bottom is going to end up falling down, although they'll delay this with a glyph. It's not going to delay it for much longer. The benefit for Flipside is that they do get a trade in mid for that tier 1, but they need to defend their high ground. There's not really anything stopping Scary Faces at this point.
Troll has no TP right now, and Ace just faked the TP on the bottom lane. They're gonna have to run back, and they won't lose Raxes immediately. They will lose a tier 3 tower without applying any sort of pressure to Scary Face's side. Troll still is not here. Run faster, Troll. 514 move speed just doesn't seem fast enough. He's going to maybe run into Eknart right now, but the tower is already down. Melee Rax is looking to fall as well. Bland will get assassinated to start things off. Blink forward, roar onto Unicorn. Can't get anything done. Healing ward is there, but it won't even be enough to keep him alive. Now the black hole gonna connect onto Ace and Baby Knight. Actually, Ace gets glimpsed out of it. Baby Knight's gonna drop regardless. Troll Warlord is gonna buy back out of necessity. Rise gets a nice spike through. Finger of Death on Eknard as well. Here comes useless score again. He'll take out one, but this is a 2v4 again. For the Scary Face's side, they'll put up the cogs, catching two, but the Medusa is still firing. She still has her Aegis. I don't even think she's gonna use it right now. Ace is gonna die. Bland is gonna die. Shadowy draws a triple kill. Disruptor, much needed. I mean, a little bit of credit due for him. This Rax is broken 22 minutes in. I think Scary Face just took game 1.
Yeah, up until this point, it was looking pretty close. I mean, 2,000 gold advantage for Scary Faces, although moderate is nothing that you can't come back from, but those last two fights have really put this game into unwinnable territory. It's a 20-minute Raxing against a Dusa and a Sniper. Scary Face is now sitting on 4,000 gold on their Dusa. Sniper sitting on a chunk of about 3,000 there for him, and although they're not going to get anything more since the tier 2s are still standing in mid and top, they didn't even lose their Aegis on the Medusa. That's going to be a full Monkey King Bar flying out to Quista in just a mere 1,000 gold or so. And this game just got a whole lot harder for Flipside. If they're going to come back into this, they need to take some miraculous fights. But with their heroes, that's really hard and relies entirely on Scary Faces getting out of position. They're the ones with big teamfight ultis.
Yeah, the Flipside would kill right now for a Magnus or a Dream Protector even. Like, not even the best teamfight ultimate. Something that'll allow them to take some sort of edge. They need pickoffs right now, but Scary Faces, they have such an advantage, and they still have the Aegis that they will have no hesitation about just grouping up as a full 5-man team and just going for it, especially if it opens up on a kill on Baby Knight. He's going to be roared. He's spinning, but it doesn't seem to matter. Swap out from Bland will probably save Baby Knight's life at the cost of his own, but not even. He'll get glimpsed back, assassinate, turned around 180 in air, and that'll be 2 easy kills. Both these heroes don't have buybacks. There's a tier 2 tower still kind of up, but not really for long, as Scary Faces are going to lay into that with all their heroes. It's gone in a matter of seconds. And I think this might be a secondary tier 3 tower at the very least, probably Raxes as well. Without their Jug Omnislash, they really can't defend this.
Definitely not. It's a combination that I didn't think of in the draft, but Disruptor plus Beastmaster is actually really cool because you're able to give so much vision to the Disruptor. That glimpse back on the Juggernaut was completely set up by Hawk Vision, dropped by Ramsey666. That's your second lane of barracks going to Scary Face's favor, and although Flipside might end up fighting this one out, there's no reason not to. For all intents and purposes, this is probably over.
Yeah, 2 Raxes is so much different from 1. Scary Faces, they just made that push in without having their Aegis for most of it. They're going to get a pretty big item delivery as well. They're going to catch Ramses on the retreat. Beastmaster down, but that's the least important here right now for Scary Faces because Quista is still alive and kicking. He's going to turn Rise to Stone, kill off him and Bland in just a couple of seconds. Baby Knight looking for an Omnislash angle onto Eknart. He's going to get assassinated for his troubles, and player is still just in the base of Flipside firing away. It's a 2-for-1 in favor of Scary Faces, and they're going to back off. It's time to go for the top lane high ground push. Just wait for the Beastmaster to revive, or just start going up there right now, and we'll just go ahead and push that one out. Flipside aren't going to have much additionally to defend this. I mean, Unicorn has 3,000 gold, and he doesn't have he doesn't have buybacks, so he should be buying something, but what could he possibly buy right now that'll help him get out of this?
Okay, so most cost-efficient items maybe a diffusal blade for him for damage onto the Dusa, but honestly, does that even help that much? He's going to opt for a blink, and that's fine and all, but Quista himself doesn't actually care about the blind chance anymore with the Monkey King bar. This is purely to try and assassinate the Sniper, and honestly, Sniper might just be a red herring at this point, as he really isn't the major issue. The Medusa with the full MKB, Scotty, and Yasha is.
Yeah, she's the real threat right now, but you can't really afford to focus her, because if you do, this is going to happen. You're going to fall short. Quista's going to get hexed up. Mana Drain, that's going to do a lot of damage to Quista, but the rest of the team is right behind. Now Useless Score going to get roared down. Focus, and now the Black Hole connecting onto 2. Bland and Baby Knight also going to fall because Quista is still shooting away. It's a triple for the Medusa. Omnislash is going to time out, making an ultra kill for Quista, and a GG is called. Clockwork sitting in his base is gonna do nothing except for, well, just sit and wait for the game to end. Scary Faces decisively take down Flipside in game 1.
Yeah, definitely. So that last fight was really just a last-ditch effort for Flipside, and in the end, it really just wasn't possible for Flipside to do anything. Scary Faces with really just a lot of commanding performance on the map, and they were taking most of those fights 4v5 in the beginning of the game and trading pretty evenly, where Medusa was left to just farm it away, 700 GPM, and rightfully so, since she was completely untouched.
Alright guys, so this is of course game 1 out of a best of 3, so Flipside have one more chance to bring it back before they're completely out of the Yard G2A tournament. For us right now, I'm Mikelorus. I've been joined by GrandisV, and we will be right back in just a little bit for game 2.